back to the end I've Always Said That podcast, episode 2. I'm Megan, still.
I'm still Taylor.
I'm still Gianna.
I'm still Nikki. Still JoJo.
And you might be looking a little confused if you watched last week's episode, wondering why we're here. Turns out our mics, we did not forget to turn them on. They just stopped working. So now we have fun little wires.
We have new mics, new setup. We're really stepping it up for
Better
episode
mics.
2.
Better mics. The audio is so good.
Yeah, I mean, let us know if you like the new setup. I love it because this poster behind us, actually, we accidentally got the same exact poster in both of our apartments without realizing it.
Because we're all literally the same person, just kind of mashed into 5 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always said that.
And I've always said that.
And guess what? I have always said that.
And I love that for you.
You're so real for that one.
So real.
Okay, so we have a couple things we're going to talk about this week. We have our Super Bowl predictions because when we're recording this, the Super Bowl is actually in a couple hours. We're going to be talking about the fresh breakup of Megan Fox and MGK.
Is it alleged or confirmed?
It's still alleged,
okay.
but
I would say
it's confirmed.
She was posting Beyonce lyrics from Lemonade.
Confirmed by us.
There's no
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
It is confirmed by us.
breaking news.
Breaking news.
And everyone has been looking forward to this, our date party.
Oh, yeah.
We know you were just dying to know how it all went. And we have every detail for you. We're going to give you a play-by-play of how everything went down. So
All the highs and lows of the night.
There were a lot of lows.
There were a lot of lows.
Some highs.
Some
a lot of
highs.
highs.
A lot of
tons of highs,
The
an
lows
equal amount of lows.
were unfortunately low.
Rock bottom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll start off with who each of us thinks is going to win the Super Bowl. Might I add, Taylor is kind of the only one here who religiously follows sports.
We have Megan in the only one in a jersey right now.
I am showing up loud and proud in my Jets jersey, may I add?
Okay, Miss Jess.
Okay, they're not in the Super Bowl, but still,
Jet fan till you die.
I showed up. I'm bleeding green and white.
Oh, I'm still bleeding black and gold, so.
So who's going to win the Super Bowl, Megan?
Not who do I think's going to win, who do I want to win
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
specifically.
Who do you
I
want?
want the Eagles to win because I watched the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Abbott Elementary, which are both centered in Philly. So I want those characters in those shows to be happy at the end of the day.
Yes.
I also want the Eagles to win. I love the Kelsey brothers. Both brothers are in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
It's the first time it ever happened where 2 brothers are in the Super Bowl playing against each other.
Did you see their mom's jacket?
Yes, their mom is
Slay.
slaying right now. It's all Travis.
Langton.
Yeah.
And I love both of them so dearly, but I do want the Eagles to win because I hate the Mahomes family with a passion. I hate them.
Hot take.
So hot take. So I want the Eagles to win just because I hate the Mahomes family. But love Travis, so I wouldn't be upset if they did win, but I want the Eagles to win.
I also want the Eagles to win, mostly because I just went to Philly like 2 weeks ago for my friend's birthday, and we went to Xfinity Center for their last game to get into the Super Bowl, and it was pretty much the best day ever. It was so much fun. We partied and drank all day, and then we all walked down this street. I don't know what it was called, but it was just it was so fun. And now I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I still love the Steelers, so Pittsburgh
So
girly.
it doesn't really matter.
Wish they were in the Super Bowl, but
Go Birds. I'm from Pennsylvania.
I do not know anything about sports. I did not grow up in a sports family. My family did not. They were actually annoyed we could not get a cable package without sports that had didn't have anything else. Who is playing?
San Francisco.
Nope. The Kansas City Chiefs
Oh yes, sorry.
and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'll pick
Should
the
have let
Eagles.
Taylor answer that
Yeah,
one.
I'll pick the Eagles because that sounds cooler.
Yeah, go Birds.
Sorry, guys.
So moving right along to MGK and Megan Fox. I mean, again, there's not really much substance here, but it is crazy how they did do a blood ritual.
Yeah.
And They weren't endgame.
No. Well, on her story, she posted that she was like burning up letters, and somebody was like, it's probably like one of their forever letters that he was like, open it up when I'm 85 and dead.
Aww.
They wrote letters like that?
No, but they were like,
Probably.
they were saying she
Wore a vial of blood around his neck.
A
A vial of blood around her neck. I wouldn't be surprised.
Also, isn't she older than him?
Yeah.
And
Wouldn't
she has
she-
kids.
Wouldn't she?
Yeah, but he
not
has a
to-
kid too.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he has a daughter. She's like 13.
Oh.
Not to be morbid, but wouldn't she die before him?
Men usually die sooner, don't they?
I don't know.
How much older is she than him?
I don't know, but my grandmother died before my grandfather, so it can happen.
But it was just a weird, like, her engagement ring, he put prongs on it so that it would hurt her if she took it off.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I heard
like
about
borderline
that.
abusive. Also, I feel like, you know, at least growing up, everyone around me always said, like, you know, the couple that's can't stop talking about how much they're obsessed with each other. Like, they're going to be the first ones to break up. They're not going to stay together. So, just a little tidbit.
Yeah. It was just a weird relationship. And I read that she showed up to the Grammys red carpet with a concussion and a broken wrist.
Shut
I
up.
heard about that.
And
Whoa.
everyone's like, why is nobody talking about Megan Fox showing up to the Grammys with a concussion and a broken wrist?
He was also, like, I saw a video of him and her, and he was very awkward. He was like, I don't like the Grammys. I don't like coming to these things. And, like, I told Megan something like what do you call it? Whenever you want to get out of a situation or something.
It's like a safe word?
Like a safe word, yeah. Like, I don't know. It was just very awkward. I feel like lately I've been hearing
The
that
body
they're
language.
just not, yeah, like their
Yeah.
body
is
language
very uncomfortable.
has been, yeah, like I felt it coming.
Well,
like,
also, the way that they got into the relationship was strange. Like, they were both filming a movie. He cheated on his girlfriend.
Summer Rae.
Yeah.
I forgot he was dating
And
her.
she was still married to Brian Austin.
You're right.
This is giving Don't Worry, Darling,
Yeah.
I feel
if
like
I've
that
ever
was-
heard.
Still haven't seen it.
It was a movie.
I don't know if it was really worth seeing.
Quick hot take.
Hot take?
Recommend
Hot
or
take,
not?
wouldn't see it again.
I'd give
Okay.
it a skip on a scale of 1 to skip.
Yeah.
I'd give it a skip.
Really made me rethink Harry Styles. It really, it put me over the edge for that one. I was like, I have never seen a more ugly human in my life.
Incel Harry.
It was scary. It was jarring. I did not like it. Did not like it.
Tough watch.
I won't be watching. I will not be
If
watching.
you don't want your view on Harry Styles to change, don't watch it. Nikki, hot take.
I don't have
You've
anything
seen
to
the
say.
movie?
Why is everyone looking at me?
You've seen the movie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's neither here nor there. If you want to see it, sure.
No, you were leaning into your mic like this. Like I thought you had a hot take for the movie.
I had no, absolutely nothing to say on Don't
What
Don't
about
Worry,
Incel
Darling.
Harry?
Oof. Yeah.
That is the only
I
thing you
will
could
say
say.
it was that part was a tough watch, but I thought acting wise he did great. So I think it's worth watching for that part. But I definitely will not be watching it again. Unless you want to watch it, I'll watch
You don't
it with
want
you.
to see his
but
30-minute tap dance?
There was a tap dancing solo.
It wasn't 30 minutes.
It wasn't.
No, it
but
was
it
like
felt
2
like
minutes.
It felt
It's
like
like that episode of Euphoria where what's his name? Was it Dominic Fike?
He
He sang the song and everyone tore him to
That
shreds on
hot
Twitter.
hot take, that song was number 4 on my Spotify Wrapped. Elliot's song from Euphoria deserves better, okay? That song did not go on too long. This total song is like not even over 3 minutes. His voice is beautiful. Zendaya harmonizing in the back. I don't understand why everyone was so mad about that. I was literally like closing my eyes and him taking it all in, listening to him sing. Like, I love that song. I thought it was amazing. And it's a breakup like in the show of it's all intense and dialogue, and for a second you're just like breathing and you're just like something normal is happening.
So we were on the same couch watching the same scene together, and she was getting so into it, right? She's like, ooh, I love it. I was sitting there and I was like, when is he gonna stop? I liked the song. I did. I liked the song, but I felt like it was a new character who was disrupting a, like, a relationship that people, whether you want it to happen or not, are so invested in. And I was thinking, this guy wants to sing right now?
Also, what high schooler has a face tattoo?
Oh,
Apparently Christians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
One of our friends we found out last
3
night.
of them.
He
Yeah.
went to high school with someone who had a face tattoo.
Yeah.
The teardrop one. Whichever one means you killed someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was absolutely alarming information to receive
Yeah.
at the pregame.
To our date party.
Yeah.
Christian seemed a little scared when he found out what the teardrop meant.
Yeah, he only found out last night what a
He was
teardrop
like-
tattoo meant.
He said,
Oh.
what?
I sat next
That's
to
what
him
that means?
in math.
Well, yeah, true.
So should we get into it?
Yeah, we
I
already
think
brought
we
up the
should.
We
pregame.
brought
Yeah.
up the pregame.
Pre-game, it's very fun. We all were kind of not excited at this point.
Wait, do we want to explain?
I was just
one
gonna
more time?
say.
Explain what we weren't excited for.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
feel.
let's like start. We were started planning this on like New Year's Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and
So New Year's Eve,
yeah,
we had an idea. We said,
Yeah.
what if we threw a party and everyone had to bring a first date to this party? So this was the first time you're meeting this person. Decided this New Year's Eve. Key piece of information.
Yes.
So as the month went on, we're all going on Bumble, Hinge. I don't think any of us are on Tinder. If I'm
Not anymore.
Correct.
I don't have a Tinder anymore.
respective dating apps, swiping like there's no tomorrow. We made a Google form, which we'll get
Yes.
into, to send to these people. And probably up until Thursday, none of us had a date.
I had a date.
Oh, you always had a date.
I had maybes that I didn't think would show up. I was wrong.
I just wasn't trying at all.
Gianna, I mean,
And somehow,
you did what you said. You said, I feel like my best bet is just waiting till the last minute and hoping a really cute guy will say yes.
yeah, I
Yeah.
did, because every single guy I talked to, they're like, oh, I'm busy that week. So every single guy was busy, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to wait until the day before and just see if there's anybody.
Also, the issue is scouting since January 1st for a party that was February 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
They left. They've been weaned out by that point. I
Yeah.
matched with someone in the beginning of the month. I was like, Hinge Patrick, if you're listening, call me.
Patrick.
but
I'm so sad.
we stopped talking.
Shout out to all the guys with the P names.
Shout out to all the guys I didn't meet before.
Hmm.
My new book series.
true.
wait, what about James?
Oh yeah.
What?
Another
James.
James.
Oh, James, the James that didn't come. Yeah.
I
The J name that
forgot
didn't
about-
make it.
forgot about this person.
Wow. Yeah, so I thought I wasn't going to have a date for a while there, I'll be honest. I was just like going to give up. Gianna and I were going to like fly solo
We were
Through
gonna
the
be
night,
each other's dates
together. And yeah, the person who I invited had plans, but he like said, he wanted to meet after. He just wasn't able to confirm until like after his plans were over. And he came pretty late, but it was totally worth it. So I actually did end up having a date for like 2 hours.
I mean, we stayed out pretty late too. So even though your date came late,
We
It was-
closed out the bars.
it was.
Yeah. Closed out 2 bars.
2 bars.
Un- Unfortunately, we did close out the bars.
Yeah.
And you had, so you matched with your guy literally the day we planned this party.
Funny story about, and I have not told him this yet. So we like to do this little thing where we trade each other's phones and we go on each other's dating profiles. Because, you get so sick of looking at, your feed and your eyes kind of like go crossed. So we had the idea, like, okay, we all know each other's types. What if we all just switched and, like, did it for each other? And maybe, like, it'll work then. Or, we'll get some, like, new fun matches. And Nikki knows my type. We share many qualities in men. And, January 1st, I matched with him. Nikki actually swiped right on him. And you,
My legacy.
yeah, you knew. And I, like, my whole thing was, I was the opposite, right? Like, I have such severe anxiety when it comes to like planning. I always have to have a plan. So I was like, I need a confirmed date before this is happening, because there's no way in hell, with like the way I exist in this universe, that I'm gonna be able to find someone last minute and not have a panic attack on if he's a psychopath or not. So that also segues into why we created the Google form. We thought, okay, we really got to think this through, because how can we vet the people we will be bringing into the group? It's not a one-on-one, not a double date, not even a triple date.
You're quite literally meeting every single friend that's important to me
Yeah.
in one night.
You are meeting the whole group, and you're meeting the rest of the group's dates too. So if a guy's really cute and he seems okay, but like he says something that means like he's, you know, bad in groups or antisocial, like immediately cut. So we made the Google form.
I have it pulled up if we
Yeah,
want
you
to
have, what?
get into
So
each
why
question
don't,
and we can explain
why
why.
don't you go through what, like, the questions that we asked in the Google form?
So the bio of this date party application says, so you want to come to our party. Do you think you have what it takes? Fill out the form below to F around and find out, with the saluting emoji. My favorite emoji, may I add.
Also Nikki's favorite emoji.
Love that emoji.
Best emoji.
It's becoming one of my faves.
There's just no context where you can't
Yeah.
set it, and it's not funny. So question number 1. What's your name and who are you applying for? Due to the fact that all 5 of us were sending it around, we needed to know.
Some people didn't even put their name, who it was for. So automatically, if you didn't do that, we were like, okay,
Done.
done.
You don't know
Like,
how to follow
You
directions.
can't read directions.
Yeah.
I know what my 3rd grade teacher felt like. So then question number 2, coming in hot. Why would you like to meet the person you're applying for?
Simple, but you know.
Self-explanatory, gets to the point.
Yeah.
Question number 3 is, do you have a catchphrase or a funny little saying? Some people just, I'm pretty sure these aren't their catchphrases or funny little sayings. They're like, oh, they're going to eat this up. And then they put it in there, and it just was not funny.
Yeah.
It was not giving anything.
No.
You could tell a lot about a person.
By what they want their catchphrase or
Yeah.
funny little saying to be. So then, question number 4, jail, explain.
Straight to the
Jail,
point.
question mark.
Question mark,
Explain.
explain.
Yeah.
So, almost every single guy who filled out this form, except for one, answered it in the same tone. It was, they took it as, have you been to jail? Yes or no? If yes, please elaborate.
Yeah.
There was one individual who took the question as, who would you like to send to jail?
Which, again, done.
And, you know, I can't remember the person who they said they wanted to send to
I think
jail.
it was Harry Styles.
I think it might have been. And
we
it
got
Yeah.
like one serious Harry Styles hater in the date party application.
It was like, I would send Harry Styles to jail because XYZ. And we were all reading it going, where did we ask this question?
Yeah, we were
Literally.
confused. They were confused, obviously. Yeah. Done.
So question number 5 is, what sets you apart from the other candidates? Easy.
Very
I think someone said juggling. We should have invited him.
Yeah.
Where is he
Our
last
little
night?
jester.
He would have been entertaining if there was an awkward pause.
I mean, we were literally
Juggle.
at like a medieval themed bar. Might as well have a jester.
We were practically at medieval times.
Yeah.
Eating a turkey leg.
Literally.
Sir Griffith should have been there.
Sir Griffith.
Call back
You
to
wanna
our
come-
first episode.
Yeah.
We've come full circle.
Full circle.
So then another question we asked is, what are you unthankful for right now? Which people didn't get as creative as we
Yeah.
wanted them to.
Or also they didn't get it. And they were like, what does unthankful for mean? I'm like, exactly
Sound
what
it out.
means.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd say out of the 100% of responses, at least 70% said it's cold out.
Also,
Yeah.
traffic.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Pick something better.
Cold and traffic. That was it.
yeah. Like,
I'm
I get,
so
like,
bored.
maybe you're being
Boring.
put on the spot, but, like, you didn't have to send it back automatically. You could have thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, get creative with it. What would
Yeah.
what would we answer?
What are we all unthankful for right now? Let's get into it.
I'm unthankful for the long line that was at Trader Joe's.
Oh, I have a good
I mean, I get it. It's a Sunday. And
Trader
I get
Joe
it, it's
count
Super
your
Bowl.
days
But-
on a Sunday.
Why do you have to go? Like, I figured, like, people are already at the Super Bowl parties. There wouldn't be that long of a line. There was still a
It
long
was-
line.
It was quite packed in there. I'm unthankful for the loud music last night. I couldn't even hear myself.
Oh,
think.
yeah.
We'll be getting into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just at any bar in general. Like, I just, with my age, getting a little older
Full
now.
23.
I like to sit down and actually talk to my friends or actually be able to hear and, like, talk to people.
Well, we went to Marquee on Friday, and I literally felt it in my chest. Like, I thought I was going to throw up.
Yeah.
The music and the beat, I was like, I'm fully going to throw up right now.
I'm
was
thankful
really
I did not go to Marquee.
I'm unthankful for Marquee, actually.
Yeah.
I'm unthankful for kind of have an ingrown toenail right now. I mean, I kind of always do, but
Fun fact about Nikki.
fun fact
Nikki
about
lore.
me.
Nikki Lord.
Yeah, like most of the time it's like my big toenails, and you know those are the worst. But when it's on like your middle toes, that's when it gets really hard to deal with because the nail is so tiny. So I'm like super unthankful for that right now.
What am I unthankful for? Well, you know, I have this pair of boots that I love that have all of a sudden started giving me issues when I wear them, where I just start tripping over myself. Cue the scene of the crime. Random Taco Bell that me and Megan went to.
JoJo went full man down in the Taco Bell.
I've literally had these boots for like at least a year and they haven't given me issues, and I think I like wore out like the rubber like on the bottom in like a weird like way. Yes, exactly. So it's uneven. And when I tell you I went down on both knees in the middle of the street, green light.
Walk sign was on.
Yeah. No, walk sign
Walk
was
sign
off.
was off.
It said stop. Megan had to peel me off of the ground.
I'm picking her up.
Taco Bell in hand, by the way.
I like army picked you up off the ground. I was like, get up, soldier. We
Wait,
gotta keep going.
I'm thinking about that one episode of SpongeBob where the stampede comes and they like trample over him and there's like footprints in his body.
That was JoJo.
That was Joe.
So I'm really unthankful for that right now because I'm afraid it's going to happen again. It almost happened again the last time I wore them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then our next question on the forum was, what celebrity do you hate for no reason? Which says a lot about a person.
Yeah.
Like you're saying you hate Jennifer
Coolidge. That.
America's sweetheart.
You were immediately put into the pile.
Jail.
Yeah.
You're not coming.
Also,
I've
a lot of
noticed.
people, again, didn't follow directions and gave a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
who do you hate for no reason? Don't give me a reason. That's the whole point of the question.
Yeah.
Nikki, what was the one guy? Oh God, who did he say? I can't
A
remember.
lot of random
What?
ones, though. There was like some weird, strange.
There were a few Timothy Chalamets.
Oh, yes. A few Harry Styles.
Electric chair, honestly. Timmy, we love you on this podcast.
Little Timmy Tim.
Looking forward to Twanka.
So then the next question we had is, if there was a purge in real life, what's the first thing you would do? Which once again says a lot about a person. Because
Yeah.
if your mind's immediately going to murder,
You were put in the pile with Jennifer Coolidge haters.
This is where it got a little alarming.
Yeah.
And where this Google form was really coming in handy of, you know, weeding out all of the...
future murderers
crazy-
of America.
They're
We should
just-
really turn this into the police because I
Yeah.
think we can help them.
There were
the long run.
people, or at least one or two, that said murder,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which was jarring.
And that was an immediate unmatch.
Yeah.
But it was also interesting to see, like, what guys said they would actually, like, go out and do something versus which ones would be like, I would just steal a bunch of food and sit in my basement.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the one, this was so funny. I think they applied for Taylor, and I'm so sorry if this guy ended up coming. I don't think he did. For the jail question, he said, yes, for selling fake IDs.
Oh,
And then-
yeah,
and
he
what-
didn't come.
And then there was the follow-up question, if there was a purge in real life, what would you do? And it was sell fake IDs.
He's so real for that.
Tossing
so
them out
real.
during the purge.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to whoever you are, because that really made us laugh.
So then our next question was, do you have any party tricks that'll impress me and my friends? Which now, looking back, I think this is where that one guy said juggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes more sense to
Yeah.
tell us about your juggling skills.
Yeah.
And then our last two were, please put your socials below and any final comments or questions for us. That's kind of just how we ended it.
So now that we took you through our Google form for our date party, we're gonna tell you how the night started out, and then we're going to get into some of the prompts that were, stood out to us, and we think that you would laugh at them too.
Also doesn't necessarily mean these people were invited, which we will get into.
Disclaimer.
Recapping the night.
Yeah. So do we all want to go around and say how we felt walking to the bar and also going in the bar and seeing that the bar was empty? What were your thoughts?
So we had a pregame here. We had snacks, we had drinks. We were all kind of getting excited or lack thereof.
Yeah.
So then it's 9 o'clock. It's time to go. I apparently told my date to get there at 9:30.
You said
No,
8:30.
8:30, and we left at around 9:45. He stuck around for me. But, so we left. We're walking there. On the walk there, all of us, we look at each other and we go, what are we doing?
We don't want to do this anymore.
Don't want to do. I'm quite literally about to throw up.
I
was
pissing,
sweating.
I'm throwing up. I'm shaking. I had everyone feel my heart. It was beating out of my chest. I hate dating, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Full disclaimer.
It's so nerve-wracking, especially for people who don't do it so regularly. Like I know, like you and I, we don't go on dates regularly. It's just so uncomfortable for me because I'm someone who it takes me so long to warm up to literally anyone, like even friends. So for me to want to put myself in a position where no matter what, even if they're like the best person ever, I'm just naturally going to seem like, it's taking me a while to warm up. I don't want to put in the work.
No, like if we had went to the bar and we met all these people, like I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it was the nerves leading up to it going,
Yes.
oh my God, I'm meeting these people at this bar. Like,
And it's also just a different circumstance.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like
it was very-
I'm just
yeah.
meeting this person out on a Hinge date. Me and my friends are all meeting all these people
Yeah.
at the same time, bringing them to a table all together. So, yeah. It
a
was
lot of different personalities. A lot of things
Oh,
could have
yes.
went wrong.
A table that
But
looked
a lot
like
of things were good, too.
Yeah.
like it was from medieval times.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
I add?
Yeah. Except for the loud music.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was just strange.
I was so nervous when we were walking in and it was empty. I mean, I'll reiterate, my date, I knew he wouldn't be there like anytime soon. Based off of like how many people we were expecting, it was about, like 15 to 20 of us. And we are just 5 women. So it was wild. And we were also kind of like hosting it. Like, obviously, we were just meeting there, but we were kind of like gonna be the ones who were
bringing them back to the table.
Yeah, like we said, overall, like it really could have gone so poorly, but there are like so many things that
Went right.
were really, really fun.
I think what also helped was, in addition to the 5 of us, we had one of our other good friends, Quinn, there. And then our other former roommate, Kristen, and her boyfriend, Christian, were with us. So it was nice to have, like, that other couple to, like, be like, oh, I'm, like, having fun talking to him, but, like, I'd love to pull you in for a group conversation.
Yeah.
A buffer, yeah, a
And
buffer.
also, everyone was meeting for the first time, so it wasn't awkward and everyone was my date was talking to Megan's date, and everyone was meeting for the first time, not only us meeting them, but it was everyone else meeting for the first time, so it wasn't as awkward as I think we thought it was going to be.
So do you guys want to get into kind of, because for me, like, my experience with my date, like, it feeds into, like, who showed up first and second, then,
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, Meg, do you want to continue? Because I think you were talking
About what?
Your date showed up first
Yeah,
for
you
an
were
hour.
talking-
He
Yeah.
was there for an
Off track.
hour.
Yeah, for some
Yeah.
reason.
Why?
I told him to get there at 8:30, knowing full well we weren't leaving until like 9:30. I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry if you're listening. But
I did plug the
he
pod.
was there. So we go to the bar immediately. I'm not even looking for him. I don't even really know what he looks like due to the fact that I invited him the night before. I rage matched anybody I'd ever matched with on I was going to say Tinder, on Hinge within the past month, and I was like, "Would you like to come to House and Hall tomorrow?" So he answered yes, so I invited him. He brought some friends with him.
Amazing people.
But so we go to the bar immediately, and then we go and sit down, and I'm talking to Quinn, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I don't know where he is. I just texted him here." And then Quinn is kind of looking around, and then I look up and I see him go, and I go,
For the audio listeners, he just put his hand up to wave. Nothing else.
And I go,
just a wave.
Quinn, what do I do? And Quinn goes, I don't know. What should you do? And she's like, you have to go over there. So then I went over there and I brought him back to the table. And that's kind of where the group repertoire began
Yeah.
with all of us.
So then I think Taylor's the first of your dates showed up after him, right?
No, he was there when we walked in. I fully walked past him, knew it was him, and
Just
doing
laps
right
around
right.
aimlessly.
He was at the bar, and we were literally standing right next to him, and I turned to Quinn, and I go, I think that's him, and she goes, well, go over and say hi, and I went, I don't want to. I need a drink first. So I get my drink, and then I'm texting him, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm here, and he's like, yeah, I'm here, too, and I'm like, yeah, okay, like, I'm at the bar, and he's like, oh, I'm at the bar, too, and I'm like, oh, so weird, So then I put my stuff down, and I'm like, oh, like, we just got a table, like, are you still at the bar? And he's like, yeah, I'm ordering a drink. And then I finally got the courage to go and get him, and I brought him back to the table. And we're chatting, having a great chat. And then date number 2 shows up.
So Taylor did invite several men.
No, but everyone invited several men.
I didn't.
I didn't.
I invited one.
I invited one.
I invited one
It was
2
just
hours
you-
before the party.
It was just you two.
Well, here's the thing with me. As I said, I told him 8:30, so another guy by the name of Connor showed up around 8:30. Saw I wasn't there, and he was with friends, so he had gone forward with leaving.
Yeah.
And then I messaged him, and I was like, oh, my God, so sorry, the pregame ran late. Like, we're on our way. And he's like, no problem. Like, I understand. Like, I went to a bar in the block. Like, let me know if you want to come.
Crazy
Yeah.
to think about how the night would have went if Connor and friends would have stayed.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Never know.
But yeah, so I had a weird night because both of them traveled. And there was also a third one that was going to pay an $80 Uber. And I was like, no. I was like, please don't.
He'd also gotten ankle surgery this week,
Yeah.
mind you.
He had
would've
surgery.
fully
He had-
hobbled in.
I don't know.
Stitches.
I don't know. It was ankle. I think it was just surgery. I don't know if it was specified.
Oh,
But he
either
had
way.
fully. He was like, oh yeah, I got stitches. Like, and I was like, don't come.
You uninvited him for his own good.
Yeah, I was like,
my
please don't pay $80 with you have stitches. Please no. Like, we'll hang out a different time.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Taylor almost had 3 dates last night.
That would have
Everyone
been a
else has one, and
disaster.
Taylor has 3.
Yeah, and that just made me look bad.
Taylor's
No,
the
it
queen
didn't.
of
No, it
Riz.
didn't. It was funny.
It was really funny.
It was funny, but like, I don't know.
The guys had enough of a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little awkward, probably a little
Yeah.
awkward for them, but they,
They
I
ended
mean,
the
they
night besties for the rest.
literally.
Yeah.
I kept making the joke that this is a start of a rom-com movie where the two of them end up being best men in each other's wedding and just kind of like die, rocking chairs. Their old age, they're holding hands in the old folks' home. Their wives have gone on and passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh,
thinking of
yes.
you, Taylor.
The one that got away, apparently.
Every time I was looking around, I would see them talking, and Taylor's nowhere to be found.
They are literally
She's just nowhere.
at the bar together. Taylor
Yes.
is nowhere
Drinking
to
a beer.
be seen.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, because I went over, because they both came from. It's not like they were like down the street. Like, they both came, and they both came solo. To where I was like, okay. Like, it just put me in a little, like, not in an awkward situation, but I was like, what do I do now?
it's a
Yeah.
little bit of an obligation.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like this person came like, a decent amount of way to see me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was talking to the one. I was like, oh, let me like separate them. The date 1 came over to the bar and was like, oh, how do you know him? And I was like, oh, like, we met on Hinge, and he's here for the date party. Friend came over and he was like, oh yeah, you guys gonna fight it out? And I was like, oh no.
Ruh-roh.
And then they were like, oh well, we're like pretty chill. Like, I guess we'll see. I don't think we have to fight.
A
And
duel to the death.
Mhm.
yeah, so then I brought them back to the table, and they became besties for the resties.
I'd also like to preface this story with almost all of us brought a man with a J name.
Yeah.
So, which was
Literally.
the most confusing situation to be put in when you're meeting someone for the first
Yeah.
time, because you already are having trouble remembering names, and now there's 5 J names on the
and
table.
2 of the J names had the same name. Also, my name is JoJo. My friends usually call me Joe. it was a very confusing night for them and for me.
I still don't know who's who.
Yeah, like even
Still
today I
don't.
was telling a story and I used the completely wrong name.
And it was your date.
And it was my date.
Megan literally cannot.
I cannot remember my date's name for the life of me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So sorry, King.
Yeah.
Everyone is just confused. At one point we just started giving out characteristics. And yeah, the night ended.
Men with J names, though? On thin ice.
On thin
Yeah.
ice.
Yeah.
Absolute thin ice.
There's too many of them.
Which brings us full circle to the name of this episode. There
Too
are
many-
too many J names.
Too many.
Too many.
For men, not for women.
Always. Yeah. Well, on that note, should we go through some of these?
Were we going to do the rest of our dates?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go a little short and sweet on it. So my whole thing was like, I am just gonna invite somebody last minute because I feel like on Hinge, like guys just don't keep a conversation ever for that amount of time. Like I don't think that anybody that I talked to would have like held that conversation for like so long. Like maybe, I don't know, like maybe you guys, but like for me, it's never like that. But it was last minute, wasn't gonna go because I've been tired lately and I was just like, I don't know if I could do this tonight, but you guys convinced me to go out and I'm glad that I did. But I just last minute was messaging, just like Megan, messaging people. I was like, do you want to come to this place at 8:30 for this Hinge date party? And it was this guy that I actually was talking to like a couple weeks ago about Love Island because it was like on his profile that he likes Love Island. And I just messaged him. And at first he was asking a bunch of questions about the party, like trying to avoid it. And I was like, yeah, he's not coming. And then I asked for a Snapchat, which I don't even really use Snapchat anymore. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I Snapchatted him. And then just out of nowhere, he was like, well, he said he was violently hungover from the night before. And then he was like, okay, I'll come. I was like, all right. I don't know how that happened, but that's basically my story.
He was
and
great.
It was a good night. Yeah.
And
He could chat.
Yeah.
He
He
looks
was
like a
talking to
character on Love Island.
He did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
You were referring to him as Harry Jowsey all day today.
Oh my God.
And he also did bring his roommate, which stirred things up a little bit.
It did stir it up.
It did. It did.
Yeah.
You
In
wanna
more
say what
ways
he
than
said-
one.
You want to say what he said to you?
Guess. So, I, as mentioned about 400 times, my date came very late. So there was like a solid 3 hours where I was kind of mostly talking to Joe and her date, but trying to like give them, you know, some time to do their thing.
She went, if I'm third wheeling at any point, please let me know. and
I totally was, and I felt bad, but I also like didn't want to just like sit there and be awkward.
You were great, and honestly, my date was great, and you guys were like
I'm in love with him.
Vibing.
Yeah.
You're in love with my date.
Yeah. Well, I'm in love with him for
He
you.
was amazing
Yeah.
to talk to too.
He was
Yeah.
great. He was such a trooper.
So I had gone down to the other end of the table talking to Gianna's date's roommate.
And once he found out Nikki had a date that was coming, he looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Whatever makes you happy."
I mean, he wasn't even like an official invite. Like he
He
didn't have to
wasn't.
go through the Google form process.
I also was like very clear that like that I had a date and he was coming, and that I was obviously not there to meet him specifically. So that was like, I honestly didn't even process it until after it happened. You were like right there. I don't even know if you heard it. Like I didn't even think about it until like 2 hours later.
So I was there. I didn't hear that part, but the second he said that to you, he was like, "You're not up for grabs." Like he didn't say that, but like the thought process was like, "You are not up for grabs. Moving on."
You're useless
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
literally.
then he introduced himself to me, and I said, "This is my date." He was like, "Oh," like didn't even.
See ya.
He was like, "Okay."
Literally.
On to the next.
Makes my date the next victim.
Yeah.
And like talks to him for like 5 minutes straight, which is nothing compared to like the hour he spent with
with Quinn.
Literally was with Quinn for an hour, was with me for probably like 20 minutes or so, and was with your date for like, like 5 minutes, and he was so brave.
Oh my god, no, my date was really such a trooper. He was able to talk to anyone that came up to us. And my date he was great. He was really nice, really funny. He was really funny. He was able to rip off like any person that, sat at the end of our table. And that was quite like a good 5 to 10 minutes of I was like, if he makes it through this, that's gonna be something for sure.
And speaking of him talking to Quinn for an hour, Quinn questionably scheduled a date with him today, and then was begging it to be a group thing after he had left. Quinn was like, "So who wants to come here with me today? I can't see him. I can't be with him alone."
Did the friend who tagged along? Did he make it to the secondary location?
No.
Did he make it to the Taco Bell?
No, he didn't, because when I was waiting in the lobby of the area with my date and Quinn, we were trying to get everyone to move out because the bar was closing. We were waiting out there, and I saw him leave, and mind you, he had tried to or basically plan this date with Quinn, tried to ask me to go to another bar with him, and then passes both of us. It was really awkward. And he said bye, and I said, have a good night, or I don't know, something like that.
That's what I thought, because my date and I were both up early that morning, so we were both pretty tired. By the end of our time at Houston Hall, and I felt so bad because he was so great and he was so nice, and he was cute. He looked just like his photos, but the music was so loud. I feel like we barely got to speak to each other, which on us. That's on us for picking. that's my karma for picking Houston Hall. But we were so tired, and he was like, I'll go to the next bar if you guys are going to go to another bar. I was like, you really don't have to if you're tired. And he was like, no, I want to.
Aww.
I went ahead and fell asleep on him at the secondary location. There was a huge TV in front of us, and everyone, it was a way smaller, more confined space. And everyone was in they were sharing a table, but they were in little groups. And him and I were so tired, but the night didn't end yet, and I just kind of naturally went sat next to him, because
did he put his head on your head?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Can confirm he did.
He did. But there was another friend that someone brought next to me, so obviously that wasn't my date, so I wasn't I wasn't trying to converse with him, and we were all packed really tightly, so I was like, okay, gonna lean on my date now. Hope he's chill with that. And I kept saying if I fall asleep on you, I'm so sorry. And he was like, no, it's fine. Fell asleep on him. So guess I was really comfortable with my date. I was told that it was very cute, and he was great.
My biggest takeaway from the night, as I've mentioned before, I don't like dating. It's one of the scariest things to me. I just try and avoid it at all costs because I really hate putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable. So last night my date was great. He was so nice. We were vibing with each other. We'll see where it goes. But at the end of the day, I learned dating's not that scary, which is so huge for me. So maybe I'll try my hand at dating again.
I'm so proud of you for that too, because I feel like I was also in the same boat as you. And Nikki, listen, I know exactly how I am with dating. Men do not make it to a date with me. And Nikki said, it was a few days ago, she was like, I can't imagine how it's going to be for you, because I don't associate you with being around men. I do not want to be seen with a man. I don't want to be near men. Love men. It's just something about, I think it's my severe anxiety and probably undiagnosed OCD, where I just obsess over things. So that's also a lesson.
It is very nerve-wracking, especially someone from a dating app,
Mm-hmm.
not somebody that you met out at the bar and were drinking or whatever, and then you're like, oh, let's go on a date. You've already talked to them. This is a fully new person.
Yeah. And I went into the party. I was I didn't think of it as a date. I was like, oh, I'm inviting people to come hang out.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect anything from it. And I told them I also want to preface this. I did tell them that I was inviting more than one person. And they were kind of not butthurt, but like you could tell that they were like,
Ego.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
Don't
They were
come
probably
then.
also a little confused based
Yeah.
on the fact that everyone else had one date.
Yeah.
And you went forward with having two.
yeah. But also, I was like, I don't know. And then they were like, well, which one are you choosing? Which one are you choosing? Like, which one of us should go home? And I'm like, that's not really what this is about.
No, like the point of the party, it
Was
wasn't
to
even,
meet people.
Yeah, it wasn't even to have it be a date, really. Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, it really wasn't, because most of us didn't get the amount of one-on-one time with each other's dates that you would get in a normal date. It was really to see if you wanted to go on to have a date with that person.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I got the
Yeah.
friend's number, and I was texting her this morning, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I even ended. I was like, I'd love to go. Like, you guys are great. I'd love to go out with you again.
Yeah, I think that was like my main takeaway from all of this is that like, you know, like sometimes when we go to a bar somewhere and you look around and you're like, everyone here is just a freak. Like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want anyone to talk to me. But for some reason, like the group dynamic that we ended up having was just so like friendly. Everyone was so welcoming and like
Yeah.
open to
Everyone played off each other really
Yes,
well.
everyone was open to socializing, and I feel like we just got like so lucky with that, like the group of people that ended up coming, and I think that it kind of like restored my like faith in like people having social skills, I guess.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And-
That was I think that's what I was most scared about, was it being very awkward
It was just,
between
like,
everybody.
two,
Yeah.
you know,
Like
and
a
then none of
speed
us-
date, but it
Yeah.
wasn't. It was like a bunch of like, if someone came in,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have expected that we all had just met.
Yeah,
the
and
hour
I think they
before.
would have thought we were friends for years.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't awkward for me to like turn to your date and like start talking to him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it wasn't really like that. And it was also just interesting to see like how all of the different guys were interacting, because like, you know, guys being dudes.
Yeah, like
So-
I was gonna say, I don't know if this was how you guys were, but every time I got up to like go to the bathroom or like go to the bar, they would just all start talking. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't
Being
awkward at
dudes.
all.
Guys being dudes.
That's
Guys
what
being
Kristen
dudes.
said,
Yeah.
because we went to the bathroom. She's like, Kristen said Christian pulled her aside and was like, they all started talking to me when you guys left.
Aw.
Like just instinctively, they like needed to bro out like together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We
Speaking
need
of,
the
like,
scoop
group
from
vibe,
Christian.
Quinn is campaigning to be the best man in the couple who got engaged last weekend's wedding.
Should we start reading off some of our?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
and
'Cause-
and we'll end with Nikki's.
Yeah, we'll wrap up with a hot take.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
addition, just preface to what we're saying now, we're going to be making a TikTok.
Yes.
So go follow us over on there to see some other fun little tidbits about the night. And also right now, if you're seeing us make a weird face off into the corner, we are currently live on TikTok. So
We
follow
are.
our TikTok if you want to see kind of what's happening in real time with us.
Yeah.
It seems like we're getting into the schedule of filming on like Sunday afternoons Eastern time. So if you're around, yeah, come check out our TikTok and you can hear the unfiltered version of our podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without further ado,
So we have a good few. So if we, yes.
this was our first response. I just want to say that this was the first one that we got, and I
Setting the
remember
tone.
that
Setting
because
the tone.
he was quite literally the only guy who typed, you know, like a paragraph. I remember that he was the first one.
So I also think, because I want everyone to have a little chuckle time, let's pass the phone around so everyone can read an unhinged response.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. So first response: if there was a purge in real life, what is the first thing you would do? I want to preface, this is a full paragraph. It was a write-in. All right. Remember the guy from the first purge who was like a security sales guy? I'm trying to profit off the purge. Make a little cheddar cheese. Oh, God. So 364 days a year, I'd be selling my protection for the day of the purge. And the day of, I'd just tell the nearest psychos where my customers are and have them get killed and all rob their houses. And I would have gotten paid. ... Actually, this doesn't seem like a very sustainable business model. Maybe I'd just fly to Aruba for the day? Wait, that was always an option? Why doesn't everyone just leave?
That was so long.
I don't remember this at all.
He
And
was the
that
first one.
is so unhinged.
That was
Yeah, that
every
is-
inner thought.
Okay, so this response was from a queer guy who sent in his Google form. to the question, if there was a purge in real life, what was the first thing you would do? He says, lock every door and hide in the closet. Parentheses, ironic, nail emoji.
I love him.
Yeah.
If you're listening, you know who you are.
Yeah.
And we love you.
We all love you.
We would have loved to have you at the party last night.
You are a main character in our group chat.
Yeah.
So I think this next one kind of goes off of our what are you unthankful for right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they said New Jersey roads that they have the gall to toll you for every 5 inches.
So true.
Gall.
And I've always said that.
And I have always said that.
Even though 2 of us don't have our licenses.
Yeah.
I've never driven in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah. No.
But I empathize.
Well, now we know what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
We get told.
Shout out to our New Jerseyans.
Okay. So this one is, why would you like to meet the person you're applying for? They said, I want to see her go feral in that cat suit. So this was for Meghan.
Megan.
I am going to go forward with having, like, a photo of me in a Halloween costume on my Hinge profile.
And he wanted you to see He wanted to see you go full feral mode.
He wanted to see me in my little cat suit from my Catwoman Halloween costume. No.
Well.
Meow.
Meow.
So then, this one is, what celebrity do you hate for no reason? Adam Sandler. If you're an Adam Sandler fan, oh my God. Adam Sandler, if you're an Adam Sandler fan, please to not push me to the next round of, is that English?
Adam
Sandler
Sandler. If
fan.
you're an Adam Sandler fan, please do not push me to the next
I think
round.
he meant do not.
Yeah.
Restarting.
Illiterate.
Adam Sandler. If you're an Adam Sandler fan, please do not push me to the next round of interviews. Jennifer Aniston is a close second, but she's hot, kind of cool, I guess. God, someone would have had a field day in popcorn reading with me in elementary school.
So that, that one struck a chord because we are all Adam Sandler fanlers.
Mm-hmm.
I am a
Yes.
stan.
I'm a
Stanler.
stan.
Standler.
Yes.
Sandler.
Stifler.
And I've always said that.
That's for the American Pie episode.
So do you want to get into your hot take?
Yeah, is there anything else
We-
you want to
we- we
read,
can put
Taylor?
We
more
have
the
a few
TikTok.
more.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah, we could put some in the TikTok. We gave you a nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
yeah,
yeah,
nice
gotta keep you
intro.
wanting more.
Yeah.
So this is going off very, very little information that Taylor told me that I've kind of clung on to and, made a mountain out of a molehill. But this is something I have always said. Get children out of public places. Get them out.
Give him a Benadryl.
Our brunch that we just went to.
Get them out.
We thought we were being pranked. She actually turned to me and said, "Am I being pranked?" Because we walk in, we thought no one was in the restaurant. We walk in. First of all, we walk up to the hostess and they go, "You got a reservation?" It was empty.
Yeah.
Does it make a difference?
Yeah.
A child runs around us in a circle screaming
Around your table?
around us.
When we walk in and
Oh.
this dad comes running
He's
after
chasing,
it.
no, he's like it.
It has no meaning to me. It's an it.
He's chasing the child around like you would on Christmas morning when you're,
Yeah.
having fun in front of the video camera.
Like, it wasn't like a, hey, sit down,
Yeah.
like we're in public. It was a...
Well,
It was like this restaurant is a playground right now and we're about to have a blast.
Yes.
I was
So,
disgusted.
I thought at first that it was maybe it was a dead day and it was someone who worked there and brought their
Oh,
kid. Because then I
maybe.
was like, okay, no one's here. Maybe they didn't think anyone would come in. We sit down and the waiter goes, "Sorry for all the noise."
I said, sorry, King, I know that's not your fault, but can you kick them out?
Yeah.
It was literally it's hard to explain for the audio listener, but we were literally sitting here and
Yeah.
it was table, 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 table. All of them ended up having kids. All of them coming in one by one, all of them have kids. I turned to Joe, I said, I am being pranked right now.
Nikki's
You are
worst nightmare.
pushing me to my limits. Get your kids out of public spaces. So, anyways,
So on my...
I have always said that.
Yeah.
But my hot take.
So on my Instagram, I was just scrolling, and I saw a restaurant, and they had posted, like, thank you to all our loyal fans or patrons. But as of March 1st, there's been some issues, and children under the age of 10 are not going to be allowed to dine in our restaurant anymore.
Music to my ears. Music to my sweet little ears. Mm-hmm. I have been saying this. I've always said this. Like, there is no reason that I need to be having, like, a nice dinner or something and a screaming child is, like, causing a scene, or there's, like, a, you know, giant iPad baby. Like, that just disgusts me. And I just think that in most public situations, especially an airplane, give them Benadryl. It's not going to hurt them. Or even melatonin. It's not going to hurt them. My mom did that to me too. Because guess what? I'm fine.
Well adjusted.
I'm literally fine.
That could be questionable.
Yeah,
there's no reason that, because not only one is it disturbing all of the staff and the people on the plane, but you as a parent cannot be like, oh, what a fun time I'm having while my child is screaming. Give them a Benadryl and no one has to worry about it. And you can do your own little thing on the plane. Like, I feel like so many more restaurants should have that policy. Yeah. And, you know, out of spite, I might just open my own restaurant and ban kids for the principle of it.
So, for me at least, like, I'm the middle of 3 girls, and we, like, my older sister's 5 years older than me. I'm 18 months older than my younger sister. My parents didn't go out unless the unit could go out, because they always felt it wasn't fair for whether you agree with that or not. You know, like, my parents never went out without us because they were like, it's not fair if, you know, we leave our kids and they're like, oh, my parents are out having fun. But I think it also comes down to, and it must be this, not to sound like an old person, but like this generation style of parenting too. You know, when I was a child, if I screamed in a restaurant or a public space, first of all, I didn't, because I knew. Yeah. I knew my parents would not tolerate it because they raised me right, you know? Like, if they knew I was going to act up, they wouldn't take me out.
Yeah, I think it has to be, like, based on the child. Like, me and my brother would go out to eat, like, we'd order, like, mussels. And people were like, oh, do you want the kid menu? And we're like, no.
My mom would go, don't even bother giving her a kid menu.
Like, but it's like, if your
palate's so refined.
I'd order the most expensive thing on the menu every
And if
time.
you're willing to just throw an iPad in your baby's face to get it to shut up, give it a Benadryl.
No, like, I feel like
That's a hot take.
It will rot the brain just as much.
Like, my mom always had a thing of crayons in her purse, and if it was not a tablecloth, like if they
the paper,
like, we would always color, and like that's what I miss, like, going out and seeing, like, people color.
It's definitely just the
Kids
way that
just
you're
don't
raised.
color anymore.
They just don't color like they used to.
It's iPad. My little cousins, like, they'll just watch like YouTube videos all day long. Like, I used to go out and play and swim and do whatever. Like, it's just not like that anymore, and I think that's why the kids are more, like, riled up and, like,
because they're not getting, like, a physical release. Like, they have so much energy, and you know what will take away that energy?
Benadryl.
And I have always said that.
And we'll leave you with that.
And
on that note, thank you so much for watching our second episode of And I've Always Said That.
Make sure you tune in next week for some more hot takes and our weekend debrief.
And our socials will be linked below.
Yeah, follow us
and
on
if you
social.
want to email us a story that's happened to you, someone you know, a hot take, or even just feedback on today's episode, always said that podstories@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I encourage you guys to have a date party of your own and let us know how it goes. Might end up on the pod.
Yes, definitely.
And we've always said that.
And we have always said that.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Right, bye.